Go to PowerPoint and let's open one by one both of this and this. So first we'll establish the session, what we are going to do, and trust me, the labs are really good. After I complete, if you can do this lab by your own, I don't think you will have any time challenge in your real life, because majority things what I do at work or I have been doing for last maybe 15 plus years, wherever I use Jenkins, most of the things, whatever I have done, I'm going to cover in next 3 hours. So you buckle up. Some of the labs may not work in your machine, depend on your setup, but don't give up. Try again, try again, try again, and you should be fine. Okay. So first thing, if you are in a Google class, we are in a week 4. I will try to open this forum. So I'm going to right click and open a new tab, right click and open a new tab. So this both forums, you should have access. If you don't have access, please request and I'll upload it. This way you all should have access to the forum. Let me know if you are able to access. Good, very good. John is here. John is online today, huh, John? Yeah, perfect. Silas is here. I think we're missing, still we're missing 2-3 students. I just want to make sure you all know class starts at 6 o'clock. So we want to make sure we start. Okay. So last week, if you remember, we started with Jenkins. Jenkins is one of the most popular server, which we call CI server. Who will help me? Why it is called CI? Who will help me?
It's continuous integration.
Continuous integrations. But why it is called CI server? Continuous integration is look like is kind of verb, but why Jenkins is known for that? This is
because it helps facilitate code and build with Maven, and it actually pulls code through GitHub.
Yeah, so you need to be very clear about this answer, because this question is often asked in interview. The first thing is, first, Jenkins is in the market for 20 plus years. Okay, so it is well-known software for CI, which is called continuous integration perspective. Almost everyone uses Jenkins. Right now, 90+% companies are using Jenkins. Second, Jenkins is proven in the sense of it's stable, secure, and being there for stable for many, many years. Third, it's open source. It does not have a cloud provider locking. It's not like Azure Devops where you're locking with Azure, or it's not like a AWS code commit where you're locking by AWS. When you use multi-cloud, when you use cloud neutral, Jenkins is the solution. Fifth, Jenkins does have thousands of plugins, 10,000 plus plugin available, 10,000 plus plugin available. What that means? You don't have to build it, just plug it and your system will become much more richer. Today I'll show you. Adding steps in Jenkins is a piece of cake. Why? Because most of the plugins are either well-tested or free. You can buy plugin if you want to. Like example, you buy Sonar plugin, or I'm not sure Raj is in, but he can buy like Rapid 7 plugin. He can buy like a plugin for Sonar security plugin. There are many plugins like people buy, and the reason people buy because they want to get more benefits. And these all plugins, any company come up with the plugins, they first test in Jenkins because they want it should work. So nowadays Jenkins is kind of popularity wise #1. Usage wise, simple to use. Anyone can learn Jenkins in a couple of hours. So many of you are going for DevOps role or system engineering role. Jenkins is, if you ask me, is a 40 to 50% of your job. 40 to 50% of job, which you can learn in a couple of hours or days. So if you spend like 1 week, you will learn 40% of your job, which is that simple. So that's why it's very popular in the marketplace, though people don't learn, and that's why you are getting high pay. DevOps is not taught in school or colleges, right? And that is why very limited people know about DevOps. And Jenkins Those who know Jenkins, they naturally learn other tools and technology. In this class, we're going to cover many technology, but Jenkins is remain a pioneer. Jenkins is remain as a front face. Everyone use Jenkins. You can install Jenkins in Windows, you can install Jenkins in Linux or any other operating system. It is designed by Java, so it's a platform independent. And many of you can write your custom code. You can use Python code, you can use Linux code, or you can use Windows batch file or PowerShell. And it is versatile. Now, so many things you can customize. You can create your own GUI, you can create AI or API driven. All those benefits out of box Jenkins gives you. So you just install it and start using it. And that's why Jenkins is very popular in the industry. So far, so good. So it's not just a CI, but it's a richness with a plugin, industry, 20 plus years of successful history, popularity, platform independent, open source, simple to use, extensible, secure, stable, on-prem and cloud. You can use anywhere, multi-cloud natural aspects, and most companies use because you don't have to pay a penny, right? These are the reasons Jenkins is very popular. Clear? Any questions so far? Yeah. Any questions? Perfect. So now, last week, if you remember, we started our journey. We started this thing, if you remember. We use Jenkins, right? And then we use GitHub. We created our repository, and in repository, once we save our data, we kind of use Memo to build this, and then we test it. Now, many of you got an error with Selenium. The Selenium is mostly used by QA students. And the reason you were getting error because Selenium goes through many steps. And one of the steps is you are using browser. So you're using browser, and in browser, you want to do automation testing. When you do automation testing, your Selenium needs to talk to browser. And the browser we use normally Chrome. So if you want to talk to Chrome, then you need a Chrome driver. And the Chrome driver you did not have. So if you don't have a Chrome driver installed in your local machine, you cannot run Selenium. And that's why many of you got an error. How it works, if you want to test it out, I will show you, but it's not important because your Chrome part is mostly QA will give you. It's a driver. I will show you the steps, how it configure and all. So it's pretty easy. Just download the driver and you put in a particular location. You put in particular locations and then you use that from that location. So we do have one repository. I'll show you in my repository. I'll give you, as long as you have the driver copied in your particular folder, everything should work. Again, writing QA is not your responsibility. Test cases, your responsibility to make it run. That's a QA responsibility to write in test cases and providing all the driver or dependency. So we'll talk about. Then you will generate a report. Last week, we kind of did 2 pipelines just to make sure we are warm up in the sense of we know how it works. And I think I gave you a homework about pipeline. Did anyone create a pipeline? How many of you create pipeline? Oh, Hilton created a pipeline, great. Did anyone else create a pipeline? Oh, I see Azim created. Very good. So any learning you guys can share from your experience? Was it simple, difficult? Azim, you want to share your experience?
Can you hear me?
I'm not able to hear you now. Oh, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so me and Irina worked on it for the past 2 days, and we went through the whole homework, and we were able to complete it. And it was pretty detailed. It was something really new to me, something that I've never done in the past. So, but your instructions were great, so we were able to complete it and get it up and running.
Very good. So first tonight we're gonna do the similar thing. So tonight I'm sure Raj joined. We are still missing one person. Yeah, I'm hoping they will join. But tonight I'm going to do 3 exercises, if time permits. And all these exercises are really useful for interview and real life. So the first exercise we call warm-up exercise called pipeline. So we're going to do pipeline. And pipeline is nothing but adding multiple steps. Each steps I'm going to explain because we will build on that. So first is the creating a pipeline. Whenever somebody says CI, they indirectly saying steps, which you can connect the dots. So when you connect the steps together, it's called CI. And once you complete that, your package you build, which is you build the package and then you deploy, which is called CD. So there is a normally concept called CI, which is called continuous integration, and CD means continuous deployment. And then third thing is called CT, continuous testing. So please understand these are all different concepts. CI is the very maximum work you will be doing because there's a DevOps maximum work in CI. But if you do CD, which is called deployment, here SRE activity start, system reliability engineering. So SRE start here. CI, where you are DevOps. So sometimes people ask questions, what is the difference between DevOps versus SRE? DevOps build, their focus is to build, and then they focus on quality aspect. They focus on quality, which is the QA, focus on standard, focus on security, focus on report, focus on check, all those things pre-work, pre-check. I always tell people, if you can do right thing on a first attempt, then you won't have a problem. So DevOps is a pretty important role. If you ask me, almost every job, cloud, DevOps will be there because without DevOps, you will have bigger problem. So there is a concept in the industry we call day one, which is called development. Right? Day one means development. So you do development. But the day two, which is the DevOps. Day two, which is where you come in picture, DevOps. This is never-ending process. Why? Because you will be keep adding more things. Like example, you build it, then you say code coverage, you do security check, you do other reporting. Today I'm going to show you that. So I have a very interesting lab to perform. So we'll see like how pipeline can be done. If you ask me, if you're lucky, if everything works well, it's a piece of cake. You create a template and then use it. Because I do this thing more, so I kind of create a template. So if you give me another project, I can do in less than maybe few hours. Some people will take 2 weeks. I can do in two hours because I have template ready. Because I have done many times, so I have that template ready. But if you are not done, you should be able to do in 2 to 3 weeks. Each project you will get enough time. That's a DevOps day 2. But there is a day 3, which is called after you go to production. Then someone needs to monitor that, which is day 3. Day 3, SRE also needs to understand how you deploy, which is called CD, and then they do observability. They monitor everything is working. If anything is broken, that's they will monitor. Some part of SRE they should know DevOps, and some part of DevOps should know SRE. But DevOps is pretty heavy lifting. SRE is more thing about you are in production and your goal is not to break. You make sure you proactively, detect if something is about to fail, you alert, you notify, and you restore. Your goal is to restore. Make sure your availability is not interrupted. So your focus is very different. DevOps focus is take something from developers, make sure it's quality check, make sure you do quality coverage, make sure quality standard, make sure security standard, make sure. DevOps does best practices. And then deploy to the production good quality software. So if good quality software goes to the production, you won't have too many issues. So DevOps, if you ask me, is in my understanding, is a cornerstone for every company. And that is the reason they pay you significant higher. SRE, you are getting less money because think about you are monitoring how many times things will go down, not every second. But DevOps, every time you do deployment, it goes through your pipeline. If you make mistake, it will break the system. So there's a concept is that if you do it right, you will have a smooth deployment. Otherwise, you have a problem. And most of the company expect you to have a knowledge how to deploy correctly, what to check, how to avoid any surprise. It's okay to find any surprise here during pipeline, because if you are finding your problem in the pipeline, you can fix it. You don't want to be going in a production and say, my God, we have security problem. Oh, we have this problem. So that's why DevOps is a really, really important factor. At this moment, most companies are focusing, every cloud engineer must know DevOps. If you do not know, they really don't want to hire you, because development, in my understanding, is day one activity. The problem is day in and day out is a DevOps activity. So if developer does only thing, huge effort is DevOps, huge, right? And the SRE activity is there, but it is only for production support, monitoring, application healthiness, and all. So this is there, but it's not that huge. So DevOps is always there. And today we're going to focus on those pipelines.
I have a question.
Sure.
So in that pipeline, is there a system check at each stage you can do to make sure it's correct? Okay.
If any steps break, you can say entire pipeline is broken. So any step you can add a condition that if this is not meeting the standard, it can break. So example, Raj is going through security. So he can say that I have a security KPI. So he can say that if critical errors reach like X number or percentage. So example, I found, let's say 5 errors, then he can break it. So he can define a threshold, which is called security threshold. If under 5, he might allow, but if it is above 5, he can break it. Another person, let's say someone QA, you say, you know what, if our critical use case break, will not allow. Another person say, you know what, if people are doing a lot of copy paste, because nowadays we mostly use AI and we use ChatGPT, we do cut and paste. So there is a concept called DRY, do not repeat yourself. So if you say that DRY is more than 10%, we'll break it. What that means? You are not using best practice. You are doing cut and paste. So if there is a change needed, you need to do 10 times, which is bad. So there are a lot of, we call kind of probing condition you can put.
Okay.
And this is like a never-ending process. Why? Because new plugins comes, new plugin comes, new requirement comes. That's why the pipeline is evolving, continuously evolving.
Okay.
I have a question related to that. So, like when you say every step we do the checks in the pipeline. So are those manual or those are automated, like
Automated.
SAST or DAST kind of tools, or
Everything is automated.
Okay.
First time you build it. I'll show you some of them, but this is like, so much fun, but it's 10,000 plugin. How many? 10,000. We can't teach all, but I'll teach you like around 5 to 7 plugin today. Anything you want, there's a plugin, I'll tell you. Then you need to configure the plugin. That's why they call DevOps role. Once you configure, it will be autopilot. Everything will be autopilot. And wherever trigger points you need to define, the trigger point you define through the rules. So every plugin will have rules. Like example, you can say that if I'm doing code coverage means when I'm testing the work, right? I have, let's say, 10 line of code, but if I tested only 6 line, then it's called 60% coverage. It means it should break. So you can define that. So you can define what would be the code coverage look like. In industry, code coverage is 80%. So if you're not meeting 80%, it should break. All those things are configured. Once you configure, it's automatically check it. If it is not there, it will break it, otherwise it will pass. Those rules you define.
Okay.
Good. So now my friend is here, we can get started. Okay. So first thing first, I am assuming you all have what you call Jenkins running. Now, what I have done, just want to make sure you all understand, I really worked hard for last couple of days because I created this special lab for you all, because last week we had a lot of back and forth discussions and all. So I thought maybe what if I can give you better labs? So what I did is just want to let you know, I have my desktop, which is this one. So I'm using remote desktop, right? So if I'm using remote desktop, so the way it will work here is, let me just explain. Anytime I have problem, I'm using now remote desktop because first is faster, because compared to your machine, my laptop was slow, so I use this one. In this one, I install Jenkins. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be guide by side. I'll walk you through steps and you will be following. And I already pre-configured the lab. So what will happen? We can easily follow. So there won't be trial and error, guaranteed success, because I did all, just to give you an idea, I invested around 12 to 14 hours I invested making sure that you can do that, because the lab which I'm doing is very hard to do in a classroom, because it normally takes 4 or 5 hours to do one lab, and we are going to do 3 labs. So around 14-15 hours work, we can do 3 hours, because I have done a pretty good job in documentation. Again, I don't want to brag myself, you will see yourself. So we'll do first step, which is called warm-up exercise. This is easy. The only prerequisite is you have Jenkins up and running in your local machine. Give me thumbs up if your Jenkins up and running in your local machine. Okay, perfect. If you don't have Jenkins up and running, you know how many emails I send. Hey guys, install. Hey guys, install. Because I cannot emphasize now, without Jenkins, we can't do any lab. So Jenkins is installed. Now, why don't you all go to Google Class, and we will open the first pipeline. So this is the first exercise. We'll do this one. First, I'll set the stage and we'll understand that. Okay. So when you open, right click on it, go to Google Class, right click on this one and open a new tab. So we are in a week 4. Make sure you understand we are week 4. This is the first lab, Jenkins pipeline, right click and open a new tab. So when you open a new tab, you will see the Word document and you can download the document, because I like to download. So you can download it by just clicking the download button. Once you download, you open, because that way you have full-fledged access. Okay, download, and once you download, you open. Remember, we are downloading first Jenkins pipeline document. Once you download, open in your machine, and once you open, give me thumbs up, because I want to make sure you understand first before we do the exercise. Trust me, this way we will be able to accomplish a lot more, and we will have more confidence. In case you are not able to do the lab, you will still be able to do, because I have documents. So whenever you have time, you can perform the lab as well. So make sure you download and open the Word document.
Where is this? It's in the Google SharePoint, or
you see, as we are in week 4 in Google, this is the Google Class, week 4 under PowerPoint. Right? And in PowerPoint, we have Jenkins pipeline.
Okay, got it.
Try to be on time, my friend. I explained to everyone before you join this to make sure you're always on time. Remember, we have limited time. We want to make sure we maximize. But this is the document. It is in a Google Class. We are week 4, and week 4 under PowerPoint section. Okay? While others are downloading, those who download, right click, open a new tab, and then download. Once you download, give me thumbs up, so at least you have document locally in your machine. The skills like how to download, how to open, those are going to be a basic and will be needed more often. Right? I see many thumbs up. So first of all, thank you for downloading. Everyone is clear which document we are downloading. First document, Jenkins pipeline. Okay. And once you download, you open it. And now I want you to first see on the screen, because more you understand, easier it will become. So every few steps will take a pause, and then you will do the steps. Okay. Every few steps will take a pause, and we'll do the steps. When I'm explaining, I need full attention on screen, because otherwise what will happen? You're doing the work without understanding, and that's pretty risky. This DevOps work is more to give a peace of mind, right? And you need to know what you're doing, why you're doing, then how I am explaining. But what you're doing, why you're doing, it's very important. How part is more mechanical, and that's why we are doing 3 times, making sure how part becomes clear to us. At this moment, first purpose for this lab. So this lab is complete automation. So if somebody asks in interview, when you do CI pipeline in Jenkins, there are 2 options you have. Option 1, complete manual. Option 2, complete automated. So for automated, we use pipeline. And for pipeline, we are using plugin. Please see on the screen. Always remember, you are learning by paying attention. So plugin. So they will ask in interview what plugin you're installing, what you're using. Getting job is easier if you know your part well. If you don't know your part well, no matter how you jump, you will be exposed. It's not number of years matters. It always matters what you know, how you explain, how confident you are. I have seen people who do not have a college degree, they get good job. And I also seen people who are having like good degree, many years of experience, they fail miserably because they don't know the fundamental. The reason they're more focused on doing without understanding. So make sure you understand. Manual work, I'm going to show you. Whenever you do the work, you do click, you do this, you do this, you do everything manual. This is fine if you are a QA. So if you're a QA student, that is fine. But if you are a DevOps students, it's not going to scale because human make mistakes. When you are making a jobs in production, sorry, in a real environment, you create one job for dev environment, one job for QA environment, one job for production UAT environment, one job for production environment. So you will be doing multiple jobs. And when you do multiple jobs, it's natural that when you do manually, you will have error prone. Means you will have error because there will be differences between dev versus QA versus UAT versus production. It means now you will have a tough time to figure it out. Your developer will say it's working in QA, it's not working in UAT, or it's not working in production because there's no consistency. That's why manual approach works only for small company or small team, but does not work in a big company which can hire you. So manual is error prone. Manual will have a consistency problem. And sometimes manual is more person dependent than process dependent. So manual work, no one likes it. So now the option remain is automated. How should we do automation? The automation part, pipeline comes handy. And in pipeline, the most important pipeline plugin you will install, pipeline plugin. Many Jenkins come with pipeline plugin, and pipeline plugin is actually Groovy script friendly. Remember the word Groovy script. So you are using Groovy script. You are using Groovy script to create this pipeline. Now, you don't have to learn Groovy script as such, but basic understanding is good enough. Pipeline, in my understanding, it's copy paste. So you create a template. Once first template running, then second you just copy and use it. So you can complete second and third and fourth project in less than few minutes. Example, if you have done dev work, the pipeline, then you copy and create a template and create a QA and change whatever needed and you're done. But if you do manual, you have to do all steps again, which is bad. And in UAT also. So pipeline, the benefit is everything is in a code. So we call pipeline as a code. So pipeline as a code means you can put it in Git and you can maintain the version. You can review it. So you don't have to log into Jenkins. Everything is in a code. So anybody can review it. You can take a version. You can modify if you want, and you can take a better control. So that's why first exercise about how to create Jenkins pipeline. So far, any questions? Good. Okay. So now in this situation, as we go further, last week, if you remember, we did talk about Java Home, we talked about M2 Home, and we talked about Path. We also installed Git, right? So these are what requirements. Last week we did. Then we verified with the Java, and this is all we did last week. So I'm hoping no problem there. Now we are going to do this. If developer push, then it goes to GitHub, and then GitHub we will start the Jenkins pipeline. Whenever we start Jenkins pipeline, there are two options you have. One is script-based, which is called Groovy script-based. So you can write a Groovy script, or one is called SCM-based, software control management based. So I'll show you both options. You will see what's the difference. Again, there is not much difference. One, you write script in the Jenkins, and one you write a file and put it in a Git, and then the pipeline will use that file from Git. This is more popular in industry, software control management. So that way whatever you are writing, you are storing the Git, so you have version management. This one is kind of short circuit. Sometimes you are doing hello world, a simple thing, then you can do script. That script may not be in your, what you call Git. So sometimes you might have a problem if you lose that file or somebody accidentally delete or modify. This is normally works for prototype or POC because quick and easy. But in industry, we normally use SCM-based Jenkins file. SCM-based Jenkins file, I'll show you. Okay. Then we'll do build, test, and deploy. Deploy I cannot do right now because we are not at that level. Deploy I will teach when we are going through the higher level. Once we complete our Docker, Kubernetes, we'll deploy to cloud. So you will see how to deploy. Trust me, you will be fine. Now, moving on. First, we will go to Jenkins dashboard. We'll take some step and then we'll double check. So we'll go to Jenkins dashboard. And first thing we'll check about, is this plugin installed? Okay. So there are a few plugins we need to see. Git plugin. Hello. Always yes. Git plugin. Pipeline plugin. This is the most important plugin. Pipeline stage plugin, which allows you each step visually, you can see that. And this one, credential binding, we will see this is optional. We don't need right now. So let's log into our Jenkins dashboard. All of us log into Jenkins dashboard and double check this plugin install. Because if this plugin is not installed, then we will not be able to do. In that situation, we have two choices. One, install the plugin, right? Install the plugin. So we install the plugin, so we will be able to perform the lab. Newer version of Jenkins does come with this plugin as a basic plugin. It means you don't have to install. If you have an older version of Jenkins, then you have to install specifically. So why don't you all go to Jenkins and double check. So right now, I have my own machine here. I created this thing. So now I will start here. Why don't you log into Jenkins? Log into Jenkins with your 8000, whatever 8080, whatever you have. Oh, yeah, good. So log into Jenkins, and once you are logging, we'll double check. You may have different project. Don't worry about the project, right? Do you see here gear icon? Do you guys have gear icon? If yes, click on the gear icon. So if you click on gear icon, you will see something like this. Say yes or no. Stop me anytime, but immediately. If you're stopping after 10 minutes, it will be too bad, right? Because I'm ahead and you are behind. Like, and most important, 1% mistake, it will impact entire class. So this time I did a pre-made, right? I work very hard just to make sure that it's smooth, right? Can I count everyone is here? Good. Now, if you see here, there are a few items I want to make sure you're all covered because today we will be using it. The first thing first, plugin, where we can check plugin, available plugin means we have installed, or what we can, sorry, my mistake, install plugin, or what we available, which we can install. So this is something we'll be using tonight. Second thing, we'll be using security. This is maybe Raj's favorite, security perspective, because you don't want, Raj, I will be honest with you, Devops class is essential for security guy, because if I get code, I get everything. Do you guys agree or not? So if you are not able to protect your code, forget about security, because people will take your code, they can plug it like injection. So protecting Jenkins is a huge thing, because it's just like, everything works through Jenkins. So if somebody hijack, then you have a problem. So security, who should access, how they should access, that is our lab number 3. We will do that part. Maybe 2, 3, depends how we do. The credential also, how you are allowing them. Sometimes you log in through Active Directory, sometimes you log in through key. So we'll talk about it. Then we'll also create a roles. Roles in the sense of dev role, what they can do. QA role, what they can do. Like DevOps role, what they can do. So we can specify the role. So you can provide permission here, greater permission here, like that. So you, as a DevOps, you can define we call RBAC, role-based access control, role-based access control. And this is something, one of the required skill from DevOps perspective. So today we'll go through that exercise. And then we'll add users. Normally in real life, these users come from Active Directory. And your Jenkins you configure with Active Directory. But because we don't have Active Directory, we will use Jenkins database, and we'll use Jenkins local user. So we'll use local. Make sense? So these are most area where we'll be spending time. Okay. Now let's click on plugins. So as you click on plugins, you will see a bunch of plugins. My screen is not refreshing. Oh, it's opening a new tab, huh? Interesting. I was thinking it will refresh. Okay. So if you are able to see, I open plugins, so I have multiple plugins, and you can see here available plugin and install plugin. So let's go click on install. So click on install. And you can see like this, right? Now search here pipeline. Oops. Why it is going? Sorry for that. Okay. As soon as I do P, it's printing. What's going on here? I'm using remote. So look for pipeline plugin. Why it is? I'm remote also. It's as soon as I do P, it's at printing. I don't know what is going on here. Huh? That's bad. Are you guys able to see pipeline?
Yes, we are able to see. Yeah.
And some reason I'm not able to. When I print P, it starts printing. So pipeline plugin. So there, Git plugin. If you search Git, you should see Git plugin,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So technically speaking, all the plugin which we need for this exercise, it's already there. You can also see pipeline stage view. It should be there also. So if you search pipeline, you will see that plugin also. So if you see pipeline, you will see that plugin also. Okay. So basically, we don't have to install. But let's say in case just like that, if you don't have plugin, in that situation, you might will go to available plugin, right? You will go to available plugin, and then you look for, then you check here and you install. Whenever you install plugin, please pay attention. Whenever you install plugin, you will have options check mark, restart after install. So always do that. I noticed that whenever you install plugin, there should be a check mark after installing plugin, restart the Jenkins. If you cannot restart, you can go to services. You can go to services, right? And you can open Jenkins. So you can go to services, and in services, you go to Jenkins and you restart the Jenkins. I always use that way. So like example, if you remember last time when I was explaining here, anytime I have problem, I go to services, right? I go to services like that. And in services, you just press J for Jenkins, and you right click and restart. So sometimes you might need to do that, because when you install plugin doesn't mean it works right away. Sometimes it requires restart. I always follow the restart. But good news, all plugins are already installed, so you don't have to do anything. So moving along.
So Tushar, quick question. How are you able to confirm that your plugin is actually activated from the screen that you were just on? Can you hear me?
Very good. So basically, most of the plugin, what happens, it will be either your configuration step. So like when you're in configuration step, you will see that options will be enabled, or post step, those options will be enabled. So if this option is not enabled, it means you think you install, but the option is not enabled. It means it's time for you to restart. It means refresh did not happen. Every plugin has a specific task, like either it is doing build process, or it is doing report process, or it is doing some kind of additional thing. And every plugin has some kind of README. So it will tell you, once you install, where should you see the reflection. Most plugins come with some README or tutorial, which gives you guidance. I found very interesting thing, 90+% plugin does require restart. So that's why I normally do restart. If you do restart, you won't have any problem. All these plugins which we are using are well tested, and Jenkins does give a green light, means how quality it is. So they give you kind of scoring also. try not to use any plugin which you are not comfortable, because this plugin does come with virus. And that's why some people want to get in through plugin, they try to hack your code. So you don't just randomly, do that. You have to do scan. And that's why it's very important that you scan each and every plugin. And there are steps available how to verify the plugin is good or bad. Okay?
Question, Tushar. So is there a sometimes situation like when the software vendor, they provide any plugins which are not available here and we have to deploy those kind of, like, let's say some third party?
Yeah, absolutely. There are many plugins you will install. So example, I'll tell you my experience. So right now in my work, which I use Sonar, which I am giving you homework. So Sonar is very popular for code coverage and quality plugin. Very popular. Sonar. You should write in your resume also. Sonar Cube. Now Sonar Cube is a proprietary software, but it has also open source. So for your homework, I gave you open source. But in real life, we don't use open source. We use support system, which company gives you key and the plugin information. So we download the plugin and then we install manually. These plugins are not available because those are paid version. So we get the plugin file, we install it manually, but they give you instructions how to install. Once you install, it will work just like other plugin. Good question. Okay, so moving along, you guys are doing good. So now we have already done, and every step I kind of give a screenshot. So you can see how I went to the plugin. Make sense? Clear? So in case if you are lost, oh my God, I'm not able to, after installation, confirm the plugin is installed. So we double check it. Now we are going to create a Jenkins pipeline, right? In these steps, we'll do open new Jenkins dashboard, new item, enter name, and we'll give a simple pipeline. So why don't you all go step by step? So you are here. Now, anytime you're lost, you should click on your logo. So if I click on the logo, for some reason it is opening, keep opening the tab. I don't understand why. Every time I click, it's open a new tab. I mean, this is like sorry, no. I think it has something to do configuration, which this is the first time I'm using this way, but that's fine. So here we can say new item. Let me switch to my what do you call laptop one maybe. Oh, this is also there. What is this one? 1 second. So there are, you see, there are two open. That's why maybe. What is this one? Okay. Now, this is keep opening to new tab. I don't know what is the setup here. I will use my laptop because that should not be that bad. I'm going to follow with the document, so you should be fine. So local 8080. So this way you can follow along. I don't have to do whole step, but good news through Word doc we can go. So first thing, what we're gonna do, click on new item, follow along. Please click on new item. So when you click on new item, I'm trying to follow the document. So if you guys follow along, it will be easier. Right now, what we are trying to do is we are going to create a pipeline. So this is the new item. We're going to give a name. If you want to use the same name, it will be greater. Otherwise, you have to change later. So I'm using a name, simple pipeline. Make sure your document is open. So if there's a mistake, I can update the document and then upload the document. So that way you all have a correct document. And this will be assets to you, because this many steps you will not be able to memorize, because we will be doing approximately 100+ steps, right? So give a document name, sorry, pipeline name, my mistake. Give a name, simple pipeline. Now you're going to click on pipeline. This is what you use in real life. If you want to do manual, you use this one. Okay? So click on the pipeline. So once you click on pipeline, you're going to say OK. And now your screen will change. And you will see a screen where you will have an opportunity to configure the pipeline. Now, when you try to configure, the one thing you need is if you have file setup, which is called Jenkins file, which I'm going to show you how to do that, or you can set up through script. So there are two ways. One is through script based and one is through file based. So when you come here, let me make it bigger a little bit. Right? So first of all, everyone is here. I kind of added every area like a little bit steps. So you can see every area I added a steps. So you can see here how to see configure from Git repository. So when you come here, scroll down a little bit, and here you see pipeline. Right? Stop me anytime if you feel I'm going fast or if you're not very clear. The reason this is, as I said before, if in real life you spend time, but I want to make sure in a classroom setup, we can easily do that. So here, this is the interview question most people will ask you, because pipeline can be done two ways. One is through Groovy script. So this is the first one is a Groovy script. I'll show you later. And the second one is through Jenkins file. So there's a concept called Jenkins file. So you create a file. In file, you write a content, which is nothing but Groovy script. So you click on SCM. So when you click on SCM, what you are saying that I have my secret source in a Git. My secret source in a Git. Make sense? So that secret source I'm going to use from Git. That's what you are referring to. But if you use script, then you will write script here. But most people use SCM because your secret source, which is called pipeline as a code, will be in version management. So if person leave the company, your setup is still there. And you are not dependent on person, you are dependent on process, which is good. Okay? So you can see here, I have added screenshots also. Now here, please understand, in SCM, you have options called select Git. So you're selecting Git in option. So as soon as you select Git, it will say, where is your repository? Are you guys with me so far? Right? Hello? Some reaction? Yes, no, thumbs up, right? A little bit reaction. I'm not the person who will read mine. I can read only thumbs up or your facial reaction, right? I don't want you to feel like awkward at the end. Well, I'm lost. The reason because you're not giving me some kind of confirmation. Now here is the most important part. Secret source is in a Git. Yes or no? I have created that Git. I'm going to give you. So you can see here in this is the URL. Ideally, this URL will be your repo. Ideally, your repo is nothing but your account. This is your account ID, and this is your project. I have created that. So I'm going to give you. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to log into my Git account, and I'll walk you through, and then we'll all do that. So first, I log into my GitHub, and repository we are doing, I think this one, simple pipeline. Okay. So this is my repository, my simple pipeline. What I'm going to do, I'm going to, let me put it in here, my Google class, so everyone will have access to that. I'll put it in under PowerPoint only, so you can just refresh and get it that way. So I'm going to do my repo, Git repo. I'm going to save it. As soon as I save, you all have Google Class. Google Class is very important. So be comfortable with using Google Class. See if you guys can refresh and get this repo. And when you click on it, you should be able to see that. If you're not able to, let me know. I'm going to put it here. Update this thing. Sorry for that. So you should be able to access that. Are you guys able to? Go to Google Class, week 4, and the link. Click on the link. And as soon as you click on the link, you will be able to see the repo. Give me thumbs up if you're able to. Right? Alex, I hope you have thumbs up somewhere. It's okay to acknowledge. By watching, you will not learn. So please, right? It's in Google Class. Please understand. I really appreciate your thumbs up here because it's a lot of work we are doing right now. And I don't want you to feel awkward that, oh my God, I'm not able to do the lab. You refresh your Google class, go to week 4, PowerPoint, click on the link, it should open. Again, this is simple exercise. Once you open it, now what is this repo about? So if you see, there will be a one file which is called Jenkins file. That's called secret sauce. Are you able to open? Yeah. Right. So now click on this. This naming conventions are extremely important. So J stands for Jenkins file. So basically what we are saying here, your pipeline instructions will be written in this file. So let's click on it. So if we click on it, this is the pipe. So far so good. Everyone is able to click it. Okay. Now there are 6-7 questions you may be expecting in interview. I want to make sure you all understand. Please understand, doing is not important. Understanding is extremely important. So first thing first, pipeline. So they may ask how this file works. Sometimes they ask detailed understanding. So everything will have first only one pipeline. So you have one pipeline. Under pipeline, your agents. So these pipeline can work on Linux, then agent can be Linux. This pipeline can work on Windows, then agent can be Windows. But if this pipeline works for any agents, what is agents means? Agents means build machine. So first machine is called manager or orchestrator. So we are using the main machine is orchestrator. The machine which is going to run your pipeline or execute your pipeline, those are called agents. So agents are also a machine. And these machines have operating system, either Linux or Windows. If you are specifying it should work only Linux, then you have to specify Linux agent. If you say only Windows, then Windows agent. Now you say why you need that? Because if you are, let's say, C# code and you need certain type of DLL file, then definitely Windows would be better. If you are using some Linux related thing, then Linux will be better. But if you are using some Python, which is independent, then any means any agent is fine. I don't have any preferences. Any question with that agent part? Good. Then you are saying now I'm going to do stages. So stages is nothing but like you are going to do like this. These are called steps. And when you do this one, it's called stage. So stage is entire one stage is divided into stages are divided into multiple steps. So you start with stages. This file you don't write manually. You use ChatGPT or use template. So right now I'm using a template. This is my template. After using template, you add only section. Like example, if Raj wants to add one more pipeline, he copy this template and he only adds steps, but he doesn't write entire file. So having a template, most of the goodies are ready. He just add what needed. So as you are working in a real field, your templates will be ready. Adding a new project is a piece of cake because you're only changing 1 or 2 lines. Make sense? The benefit of template is amazing. Clear? So you will have stages. Stages are broken down into multiple steps. So here the first step is checkout, which is nothing but we are saying, go to Git and get the code. That's what first step is. Go to Git and get the code. So in that, what we are doing, we are saying the command is git branch main URL, and this is my URL. So you're using my URL. For time being, you're using my URL. But when you do the homework, same homework you will do, but you will create your own repo. You will change it so you will feel comfortable. Make sense? So what I'm saying here, when Jenkins start, the first step of Jenkins is to go to Git and then check the main branch and use this file. So this is the repo. Use this repo. Okay. So what will happen? The code base will come to now Jenkins. So checkout will get all my Git code now in Jenkins. Now the second step, we are saying build it. So for time being, we are simulating. We're just saying we are not building really. What we are saying, echo build. So it will just show the console echo. That's all it will show. It is not building right now. It's just going to display, right? Because we want to just simulate. So this was the step 1. This is the step 2. Any questions so far? If I want to build something in real life, I would use Maven, and then I'll use a command, which I'll show you in second exercise. If I need to do something more, I can do that. So if I build a Node.js, Angular, I'll write a command. Good news, those commands will be provided by developers. So developer is the one who is going to provide the command. Our goal is to plug it here. Most of the commands are well known, so you can use ChatGPT and all. Rather than just writing message, you will write a little bit steps, which I'll show you next. So once you do that, the next step, we are saying test it. So here right now we are simulating, just writing we are running the test, just pretending we are running the test. So you will see step 1, then you will see step 2, then you will see step 3, then you will see step 4. Each stage you can see that has a small tiny steps. And these all are part of your pipeline. Any questions so far? So first,
yes, so in this whole process, we're just simulating basically.
Oh, this one is kind of warm-up exercise.
Okay.
Because I want you to understand how process works, and then we'll do Java project, right?
Okay.
Because if I do directly Java project, I might lose you guys. So I want to make sure you understand the concept, right? Concept is very important. After that, everything will flow correctly. But you agree that if somebody asks, just an example, if somebody asks, what do you call, Hilton, add one step after deploy, the Hilton will copy this section, right? And Hilton will write Hilton, just name Hilton, just like Echo Hilton. So he knows now how to modify this pipeline. Do you guys agree?
Okay.
Say yes or no. If somebody says that, no, this is not the URL, use different URL. You know how to do that. Yes or no. If somebody says that, no, build step is this, you know where to add the build step. If somebody says test, you know where to add, because all the process is well defined. The only thing will change is this line. Make sense? So how easy it is? It's pretty easy. Do you agree or not? So template is there, the pieces will change, and pieces will change as per the developer instruction, because Python will have different instruction, Angular will have different instruction, React will have different instruction. You need to partner with the developers. They are the one who's going to give you detail, right? But template will come from you. Make sense? So tomorrow, let's say Raj wants security, he will add security. Let's say Matusi wants something like that. She can add, someone will say, can I change this step here? And now, yeah, it's your choice. Order your choice, but it has to be logical order. If you don't get a code, you can't build it. Do you guys agree or not? If you don't get a code, you can't build it. And if you cannot build, you can't test it. And if you cannot test it, you cannot deploy it. So those are logical steps. You can't do random. So first you get the code, which is a checkout, then you build it, then test it, and then deploy it. So these are all step logicals. You can do that. Pretty good. Okay. So I think we are doing good. Fantastic. So this is all this file is about. So now you already have file information. So let's go back to our document. In the document, we were doing repo. What you do is the repo which I gave you in the repo which I gave you here. Let me go back here. Go to project and copy the green button. Copy the green button like that. The repo. Make sure you copy the repo. Copy the repo. So far, so good. And then go to your Jenkins. So here you will paste the Jenkins here. You'll paste your repo here. Make sure you don't type. You always paste it. So we took a Git, we took a URL. Please understand this is this repo project to project change, right? We are learning a process, but this repo will change project to project. Okay? Now, if there is a credentials, then you click here, but right now we don't have any specific credentials, so we are good with that. Now, here, the branch is in your case will be main. So I have written, I hope I have written, yeah, I did written here. You can see the branch, right? Branch is in our case will be main. So let's do the main. Make sure you type lowercase main. And the file name should be Jenkins file, exact same name. You cannot change. If you are changing here, you need to change there. Right? It is already pre-written. Right? So let's repeat one more time, making sure we are clear. First thing we started with pipeline SCM. Then we did Git. Then we did our paste the URL repo. Then we changed this thing. Why? Because we don't have master, we have main. And then we selected Jenkins file. This file name is same as in our same is in our Git file. 99.99% all projects you keep the same file name. Try not to be creative. Why? Because if you're creative, the new person will have a hard time. Because everyone knows that they are going to use this file. Everyone knows. So we don't change the file name. We use naming convention same. So now everything looks good. Let's go back to our Word document and we'll follow along. So now we are going to now build it. So if I scroll down, we are going to save this thing, right? Once we save it, now we're gonna build it. So let's do it. So this is the pipeline I gave you everything. So your pipeline. Now we're gonna save it and we'll build it. So let's get started. So we are here. I'm gonna save it. Click on save. So when you save, your project is created. Project is now pointing to a Jenkins file which is reside in a Git. So at this moment, I'm going to click on build now and see the magic. So when I do build now, what happens? It's going to follow the steps which is in pipeline. So build now, click on it. So when you click on build now, you will see like your build starts. It may take a minute or two because there is nothing. It's a simulation. So there's nothing special and it will complete. Give a few minutes. I hope you guys are with me so far. This is our warm-up exercise, which will give all of you ability how to simple pipeline is. Once that pipeline is done, then we can move forward. Right now it took a little bit longer. So I want to know what's going on. It's done. Perfect. So you can see now green color. Green is always good. Remember, green is good. Do you guys agree or not? Green is good. So green is good. So now I'm curious what happened. So I'm going to click on the number one. I'm going to click on the number one, try to see what's going on. So if I click on that one, so I will have console. So if I click on that, I will see console. So you can see here console output. Click on console output. So if you click on console output, you can see what happened under the hood. It's very, very important that you always go to console to double check, triple check, making sure everything works well. And you can see it will have a step information. Somewhere you will see the echo. Remember we did an echo word. I started this. So you will see here. So you can see here, we started with this one and Git is in installation does not exist using default, but that's fine. If you scroll down, you can see stage started. You see the stage started, very good. And say it's default, perfect, no problem. And if you scroll down, okay, look at that stage build started, right? That build started, very good. Test started, very good. And it does write echo statement, building the application. Do you guys agree or not? Running the test. Give me thumbs up if you're able to see all those things. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
So we are simulating how pipeline works. What do you think? Good. So you can see, wow, it's working on success. At the end of the day, when we see success, means we are awesome. Was it hard at all? In real life, you will get approximately 5 days to do this, which is called 40 hours. We were able to do in less than 40 minutes because I'm explaining, otherwise it can be done in 10 minutes. But this is under the hood. Any question before I show you something interesting? Any questions so far? Good. Now there is a pictorial view which you like the most. So let's go back to the sample pipeline. Click here. You may love this. I really like this view. So if you go here and click on your number one, click on stages. I think it will be easier. So simple pipeline and click on stages. Click on stages. So you can see like a step by step what happened. Did you see that?
Yes.
And if you move mouse, you will say that check out, build, test, deploy. Give me thumbs up if you are able to do that. Right? So you know how pipeline works. If something breaks, you will know right away the red color. So what you're gonna do? You're gonna figure it out. You're gonna test it. You're gonna find out why. And if you click on it, it will zoom in that area. So it will show you the problem in that area. If you click on that step, it will show you the console for particular step. So you can easily debug what happened, why it took longer, what happened, what problem happened. So each step, like you can click here, see Windows batch file. Each step, you can zoom in and you can see what happened. Each step. So troubleshooting would be a lot easier. Do you guys agree or not? Say yes.
Yes.
So last step right now, deploy. Now I want to add Hilton here. Last step, just put to 10 Hilton. What should I do? How should I add Hilton? I want to add one more step after deploy. Let's say Hilton, that's a step. Or I want to put it, let's say archive. Or I want to add into Artifactory. I want to deploy to Artifactory. I want to add additional step. I want to add additional step. What should I do?
You have to go to the GitHub, right?
Perfect. Perfect. So you guys see, I will do it and then you will run and you will see the result. Okay. Don't do anything, just see here. Hilton, first of all, congratulations. You are understanding. If you're not understanding, you will answer wrong. But the secret source is this file. So I come here. Now, my manager says, after you deploy, you put this information in Artifactory. Okay, perfect. So I have file, which is a template. I'm going to click, you can't do, see here, I'm going to do edit file. So click on pencil. So I'm going to click on pencil, so edit file. Now I will be copying the steps. Check this out. I highlighted the steps. Do you agree? I did Control C and I'm going to paste here Control V, right? And I'll just add a step Artifactory. What is Artifactory? Often asked in interview. So Artifactory is like a safety box. So what happened whenever you push something in a production? Whenever you push something in a production, you want to have a copy somewhere for rainy day because something happened, server crash, something hacked. Then that final copy which you put in a production, you have safety box. We can take it and recreate the whole environment. So Artifactory is very, very important. As a DevOps, you always preserve anything goes in production. Anything goes in production, you have a complete traceability and reproducibility. Remember, traceability means how did it go in production? And reproducibility means something you can reproduce. You stop that machine, recreate a whole machine. So that's why Artifactory, you put all your final version, final build to Artifactory. In industry, we use called Nexus. Nexus is very popular for Artifactory. So right now, I'm using Echo Artifactory here just for demonstration purpose. I added this step. Was it hard? Not at all. I added the step. Anytime I add the step, I need to commit. So I'm going to save this thing. There is my save button. There should be a save button somewhere. Yeah, here you go. Commit changes. So if I click on commit changes, now the file will be committed. So now I'm going to commit. Was it hard? I committed. Now I want to run it. So let's go back. You guys run also. I go back here, go to file. Please go to your project. Click on project. Click on a project and then build now. Just click build now. Everyone click build now. So when it is building now, it's a second. It will build with the Artifactory step. You all can do because you are using my repo. Because you are using my repo. So whatever change I make, you are seeing the reflection. I gave you this kind of homework last week. If you have done it, you will enjoy. But you have not done, still you are learning, right? Now, number 2 is ready. So if I go to stages, right? If I click on 2 or if I go to stages, I should see Artifactory stage. Do you see that number 2 has additional step? Give me thumbs up. And that's a simple, easy pipeline. Any question, concerns before we go to the next level? David, everyone is good? John? Very good. Awesome. Awesome. Any question before we go to the next exercise? Now we're going to do real exercise. This was a simulation. So we'll do real exercise. Okay. So before I do real exercise, I want to set the expectation for the exercise. Please understand, creating pipeline, if you ask me, I'll be honest with you. If you are smart, it takes 1 month to get mastery and lifetime you're going to repeat. The only peculiar problem will take time, but it's no brainer. Cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. Why? Because template is ready. And because you're ChatGPT, this kind of job pays high money and less work to do. Majority people, DevOps people are not busy. Why? They're busy when they're developing. But after that, it's just autopilot. You don't even click. Everything is autopilot, right? So you don't even need to do anything.